Okay, so a friend of mine just bet me 50 bucks that I could not do a triple front flip. Now, I have never done gymnastics in my life, and I have never indulged in my gambling addiction, so I figured, hey, why not kill two birds with one stone here? So, let's see if I can do this. All right. One, two, two and a half, three. Okay, so here's the thing. The flip was actually very good. It was just the landing that was kinda bad. Well, very bad. But in all fairness, it's the flip that matters, not so much the landing, right? Well, I might as well talk about some trash, since I'm in the trash.
Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Trash Reviews, where I take a look at the trashier side of cinema. Today we're looking at one of the most original zombie movies I've ever seen, and that is Shatter Dead.
God hates you!
Movies like this are why I decided to start doing trash reviews. There are a lot of low to no budget movies out there that are really good, but they tend to, at least I think, get unfairly labeled as trash because of the fact that they were made with no money, or at least a very little amount of money. People focus so much on the fact that these movies had a small budget that they don't focus on what they did with that budget. Don't get me wrong, as someone who likes to defend low to no budget movies, I will be the first person to admit that there is a lot of shit in low to no budget filmmaking. But at the same time, there's also a lot of shit in high budget studio movies, so yeah, that's why I'm more likely to give these films a chance. There's crap everywhere, but that doesn't mean there isn't good stuff as well. That's why I think a lot of movies should be given a chance. Unless you know with absolute certainty that the movie isn't going to be your thing, then by all means ignore it. Or if you think that the movie is pushing a boundary that you're uncomfortable with. We all have our limits after all. Of course, I understand that I am more forgiving of these kinds of movies because they have an excuse for the acting being rough and the effects being rough and everything being rough around the edges. They don't have the same resources as the big budget movies. All I want to see is effort. I want to see the actors try, and I want to see the movie take advantage of its idea despite the fact that it has little to no money. And Shatter Dead takes full advantage of its unique idea. Shatter Dead is a shot on video horror movie from 1994 with a budget of $30,000 or less. I couldn't find the exact number, but it had a small budget. And like I said, it's a very original take on the zombie genre. This takes place in a post apocalyptic world where nobody can die. It's not your traditional zombie movie where people come back from the dead as these flesh craving ghouls that want to eat the living. No, what happens is people die and then they instantly come back to life. They are dead, but they're still themselves, and they're alive but dead. Their body is a corpse, but their soul is trapped within this dead body. What makes this idea so terrifying is the fact that, yes, people can technically live forever after they die, but how you die is how you're going to be for the rest of eternity. And because you're now a corpse, technically, whatever injuries you sustain, you're now no longer going to be able to heal. If you die as a sick old person, you're going to be a sick old person for the rest of eternity. If you get your face blown off by a shotgun, you're now going to have to live with a hole in your face for the rest of eternity.
I took a job as a crash test dummy to feed my family. Now I'm too damn ugly to go home. That's gotta be worth something.
This is one of the darkest concepts for a horror movie. It's not just a unique concept for zombie movies, but a unique concept for horror in general. Most horror movies revolve around the fear of dying, people getting killed in a slasher movie, people getting eaten by a monster. But in Shatter Dead, the fear comes from not being able to die. There's this one scene where it just clicked for me. Our main character, Susan, is hijacking a car from a dead person, and she's holding him at gunpoint, threatening to shoot the guy. And at first I thought, wait, what's the big deal? He's not gonna die. And then it just clicked. Oh, it's the fact that he's not going to die from a bunch of bullet holes. That's why it matters.
And you're gonna spend the rest of eternity wandering the face of the earth in that pathetic state, just wishing you could lay down and rest like people did in the good old days. But you can't, not anymore.
Shatter Dead is a kind of movie that's not afraid to go into some dark, fucked up territory. I won't go into details here, but I'll give you a hint. There's one scene involving a fetus, and there's a sex scene involving a gun. It's a consensual sex scene, but it's still involving a gun. I will let you use your imagination there. When I first watched Shatter Dead, I was a little worried at first, because I was afraid it was going to be one of those movies that didn't do anything with its idea and just filled the movie with padding. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that it takes full advantage of its idea, and it really explores this world of people not being able to die, explores a lot of ideas that would take place in this society. The main character, Susan, is alive, but you have so many other people telling her that she should end her life sooner so that she can be healthy for longer. But at the same time, once she dies and comes back, she will have to pussyfoot around for the rest of eternity because any injury she gets will be permanent. You have people killing themselves at a young age in a way that will keep their body intact so they can be as young for as long as possible.
Forever young and beautiful.
But dead.
But this isn't death. I still think and feel. Dead people are the ones who give up hope, like you.
There's also this preacher going around creating his own religion in this new world, which is a fascinating concept to me because a lot of religions revolve around what happens to you after you die. But now we live in a world where no one can die, so naturally, a religion would form out of that.
Something beautiful is beginning. Man, we're so close to the fireworks. They're behind us. Join me. Turn around.
I have a lot of respect for Shatter Dead. This little shot-on-video horror movie creates this whole world and this whole society where death no longer matters. And it asks the question if living forever can be a fate worse than death. Enjoy your existential crisis, people. I've just recently been diving into shot-on-video horror movies, and this is without question my favorite one that I've watched so far. Shatter Dead is such an original zombie movie. And yes, it doesn't have a huge budget, it's rough around the edges, the acting is shaky, but everyone is putting in legitimate effort. Of course, it's not going to reach the same levels as the all-time classic zombie movies, but I don't think it needs to. For me, this is a classic of no-budget filmmaking, and I would recommend checking it out. Thank you all for joining me in another episode of Trash Reviews, where I get philosophical while stuck in a trash can. By all means, please comment and subscribe if you would like to see me continue to dive into my weirdness. I hope you're all having a good day or week or whatever, and if you'll excuse me, I'll just continue to wallow in the existential crisis that this movie has given me. Stuck upside down in a trash can while going through an existential crisis. That's a double whammy if I've ever seen one. Let's think some happy thoughts, people.